If you want to see the 3 looks I created using the Norvina Mini Volume 2, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. I am so excited to talk. I get to talk makeup. When is that not exciting? I get to talk about the looks that I created with this Norvina Volume 2, and this is the Mini Volume 2, the 9-pan palette. It's a set of 3 different 9-pan eyeshadows, and here it is. A little bit messed up because I have been using it. And I hope you can't hear the weed eater outside. If you can, my apologies. It is the weekend, people do yard work. Anyway, I just hope you can't hear it. Anyway, so we are talking about these 9 shadows, and I really enjoyed using this palette more than I thought I would. And I thought I would do the same thing as I did for the Sultry, and also the same thing for the Norvina Volume 1 from ABH, that I would walk you through, in this case, the 3 looks that I did with this palette. Okay, so first off, we have A2, which I ended up using on the lower lash line, inner brow, and crease. Then I used A1 as my brow bone color, and then C2 on the inner to 2/3 of the lid. And that was, I mean, I love lime green. If you've been on this channel for a while, you would know. And so obviously this one as inner to 2/3 was a no-brainer. And then I used B3 as a liner on the lower waterline. And I thought that that looked so, so good. It was a joy to do, and it really reminded me of quad number 3 for the quad of the month. I'll put those looks right there, that kind of wrap up of the looks for that quad. It really was reminiscent of that, that situation. And the next look that I did was very, very neutral. So what I had for that one was C3 was used for a lot. It was in the crease, outer lid, and outer lower lash line, and I really enjoyed that. A3 was in that inner brow area that I use light colors for quite a bit to just add some interest, so that was A3. And I ended up using B2 on the inner to 2/3 of the lid, and that looked, I thought that looked really good. It was a very, very neutral, very wearable look, and this orange can be very, very soft, or you can build it up. So this trio of colors worked really, really well, and I thought that I would end up using this one, but no, I didn't. It was just those 3 very neutral colors, and I think I used A1 on the brow bone as well. Oh no, I didn't. I ended up thinking that it was going to be too yellow, so I went outside of this palette and used a buxom highlight type shadow for the brow bone. So I did not do the look completely with this palette because I thought this was too yellow based on my green look. And I ended up, like I said, using more of a classic highlighter for the brow bone, and I did not regret it. I thought it was the right choice. Could I have used the light yellow? Absolutely, I could have, but I really wanted to stick with a neutral, really neutral look. Now I have today's look, and that was created with, as a surprise, surprise, this one was in the crease, outer lid, packed on the outer lid, and all of the lower lash line, and you'll see some of it rubbed off a little bit. I have a little bit here of this really light orange again, so C3, and I also have C3 on the very inner triangle of the inner brow here. I did that as well. The orange here that is B1, that one is on the inner to about 2/3 of the lid, and I thought that that was a really good match between the two of those. And I ended up using on my brow the yellow, which is A1, I don't think it looks bad at all. You can, as it turns out, you can put it on very lightly and it looks more like a yellowy beige as opposed to a light canary yellow. So this I did not fully understand based on look number 2, but now I really understand based on look number 3 that you can definitely use it on the brow. And even I feel like right now on camera that I can put a little bit more on to show you the effect. So let me do that right now. Okay, this is unexpected, so just decided to do it right now. This is the type of brush that I use for my brow bone. And all I'm doing is just doing a very, very quick dip into the yellow. And if I remember correctly, I put half and half so that it wouldn't be too much product. And so, yes, you can see the yellow, but it kind of turns into a creamy yellow as opposed to something that's just too intense. So there we go. I think the effect is pretty nice. So that is the third and final look with this palette. And I did end up, I'm looking at my notes here, I did end up using all of the eyeshadows in here. And the couple of eyeshadows that I used twice were this yellow and the orange here. So I really did enjoy all of them. I do think that when I think of this palette, I'm going to think of it as a green, like a light green and yellow palette with a pop of teal. That's really what I'm going to think of it as, and I'm probably not going to think of it as a pink palette because of palette number 1. Palette volume, the mini palette volume number 1. It has so much more purples and pinks in it that it's probably not going to be what I'm going to think of when I think of this palette. And I do believe that the front cover design is very telling of what is inside. And I think they did a good job of matching the front of the palettes with the contents of the palettes. So I'm pretty happy with that, except I say volume 1 is a little weird. But volume 2 and 3, they really nailed it as far as properly representing what is inside the palette. So that is it. That is lookbook number 2. Number 2 meaning for volume 2 of the Norvina Mini series. I hope you enjoyed the looks. If you have a favorite go-to look with this palette, or you have any requests for additional looks using certain shadows in this palette, I would love to hear. Leave me a comment, that would be great. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you're not subscribed yet, I would love it if you would consider doing so. And I say thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.